Hi, this is Marty Stempniak, staff writer for Hospitals and Health Networks. I'm joined today by Jonathan Bush, President, co-founder, and CEO of Athenahealth. Jonathan, thanks so much for being with me today.
Marty, I love it. Thanks for having me.
Now, I understand that you feel that the model with one healthcare entity at the center no longer really makes sense. Could you tell me why that is?
Well, obviously, monopoly power doesn't make sense for all kinds of reasons, and one of the major structural problems of our healthcare system is how weak the demand curve is. So the idea of one system that's at the center, maybe one system gets to set its own prices, there's no accountability for bad service, etc. People always, in every market, in every part of the world, benefit from shopping, benefit from options. But that's more of a philosophical reason why one system at the center of a market is not a good idea. I think there's just the practical reality that two things are going on that aren't going to be stopped by anybody. One is the rise of the deductible, and two is the rise of convenient care. So there are big, huge institutions that are better at marketing and can afford better locations for consumers that are sopping up primary care lives, and that are then going to turn around and demand access to multiple places. And people who don't give them access, electronic, real-time, good access, won't get used. And so if you're a major medical center and you've been trying to get everybody onto your one computer system, but suddenly you find that 10% of the primary care lives going to 20 are out at Minute Clinic or Target Clinic, you're going to change your strategy and you're going to make that connection. And then, of course, the rise of deductibles means that doctors, whether it's healthcare providers like the convenient care people or traditional GP, family practice guys, are going to need to know how to get their patients care at the best deal.
And Jonathan,
they're going to need to be able to logically, electronically connect that care.
I've heard you in the past use the term captured care. Could you explain to me what that term means and what you envision as a better alternative to captured care?
Yeah, it's the same basic concept. Captured care is the concept of saying, I'm going to make it mechanically impossible for you to choose anybody but me. As a way of winning the business. And so a lot of these big closed medical record systems have quietly had that strategic intent. It's not a good strategic intent to have. It's not on the side of the angels. It's not on the side of the history, because we're seeing history unfold and convenient care and all these things we just discussed emerge. So what you got to do instead of capture it is earn it. Is be more convenient, really good FedEx tracking of the patients if you're given them to care for, and probably over time value. I think that value right now is very, very hard to tease apart, but I can imagine the really innovative hospitals saying, look, yes, our mammogram is $1,000 for the first one, but if you send us 100, the 100th one is $500, because truth be told, our variable cost of a mammogram is $30, right? So if you deal with me, I'll deal with you. So there's a whole opportunity for B2B, sort of business-to-business engagement, using technology and service by hospitals that's basically just opening up right now.
What are the biggest barriers you're seeing that are keeping us from eliminating captured care and getting to this more ideal state?
We did, as a matter of federal mandate, spend $30 billion putting people on captured care systems. I mean, that was breathtakingly dumb, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if it's dumb. It's well-intentioned, excellent idea by really smart people that resulted inadvertently in everybody getting stuck on pre-internet systems, because that's the ones they knew. And there was $30 billion, and you had to get it now, and if you didn't act, you'd miss. And it just caused a great leap in that direction. That obstacle is fading, and the legislative folks are starting to figure out that, hey, that's not what we meant. And so they're putting out sort of mean words. Senator Warren was hammering the guy from Epic Systems at the Energy and Commerce Committee on this stuff. They've sort of fired formal warning shots in writing. and new incentive programs that are coming down the road, whether it's PQRS or new versions of meaningful use, will clearly start to focus on results of interoperability and interoperation. Not are you able to pass a test, but do your patients flow smoothly? And as that happens and payment flows with it, of course, wise hospitals and health systems will respond.
What are some of the ideas that hospitals can adopt from other industries to help make the system more valuable and efficient for their consumers?
There's a lot. I think most hospitals and health systems in the traditional ones have thought of themselves as single market players. Everything's about what goes on around the community chest, as it were. But as our need for hospitalization per capita declines every year, which it does, and we use less and less hospital days every year, the need for, and as sort of the obvious economies of scale within a market are seized, the next opportunity is super regional. So if you're doing, heart surgery, you really have no business doing heart surgery only for one city, unless it's a really big city. You really need to be drawing people from a long way away and attracting them, into a consistent high volume operation. That's the opportunity that's being created right now by open systems. So hospitals that have doctors and capabilities and process around a given procedure can start exporting that knowledge digitally to other hospitals and importing customers, patients, to their facility from a wide area as they develop competence with risk contracts, global bundles for payment, and as their technology gets open enough, supple enough that it can relate to doctors that are in the exam room that they don't know, but have a corner case that looks like it might really need that rare valve remodeling that the fellow at Tufts is so good at doing. They probably didn't even know the guy at Tufts was doing that before, but if Hippocrates pops up a link and they can text the guy, and then they can actually zip the patient's chart over and be able to track the patient through care and then get coaching when the patient returns to town, that's a whole new opportunity, big new frontier for hospitals to grow into, instead of thinking about how to shrink or how to cut their nursing costs or how to raise their rates and other. That's a tough thing that these guys are having to do right now to prosper, to give their employees a raise over this year, next year over this year. But this super regionalizing, this breaking out of your geographic barriers, creates really exciting unplowed soil for every hospital in the country.
Jonathan, thanks so much for being with me today.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad you're looking at these issues.
For H&HN, this has been Marty Stempniak. Thanks for watching.